In this video, we're reviewing the GoTrax XR Elite Max, and we're going to answer the question, is this scooter worth your money? If you want to check out the scooter for yourself and support the channel, links are in the description. Beginning where most people start when shopping, let's talk about the price. The GoTrax XR Elite Max comes in at $400, making it an affordable commuter scooter. $400 and up is where you start to see name brand scooters, so this is a price I would trust for a scooter, and I really wouldn't go too far below it. Interestingly enough, for the scooter, this is actually less expensive than the first generation GoTrax XR Elite. My guess is that this is going to become the standard model for the scooter, and they're going to slowly phase out that older model. So what do we get for our $400? Let's start off with the main features. I always look for distance and top speed. So we have an advertised distance here, but I found that I got about 13 miles of range with the GoTrax XR Elite Max, and we get a top speed of 15 miles per hour. Beyond those basic stats, the Max comes packed with a lot of features. This isn't a comparison video, but it's hard not to compare when it's clear that with this scooter, they looked at the older generation, they looked at older generation scooters in general, and they improved on a lot of the issues that those scooters had. So let's look from top to bottom at what this scooter brings and what improvements it's made. Starting off with the handlebars and the display. We have a nice standard setup here, nothing crazy, but it's nice. The handlebars themselves have nice grips on them, they're comfortable to hold, and the display has a new shape and new colors. It has blue text now. This isn't a huge improvement, but it's definitely more visible than the white text. So it's nice to see that they made those little improvements here at the top. Moving down to the tire, we see that the XR Elite Max has 10-inch tires, and this is instead of the 8-inch tires that it originally had. And 2 inches doesn't sound like much, but for a scooter, this is a big difference, and it makes a big impact in the comfortability and the stability when you're riding. Now looking at the bottom with the deck and the fender, you can really start to see that GoTrax improved the design here. And actually, let's take a step back and look at the entire scooter. You can see that it has an updated, sleeker design, and it's something that you're gonna feel more, comfortable being on, and you're gonna feel more proud of the scooter because it really does start to look like a modern piece of technology. The Max comes with a new and improved folding mechanism. You can see the hook here folds down and catches in this latch here. And this latch is a big improvement compared to the older model and a lot of other scooters. A lot of other scooters have like a hook back here, and you have to slide it in, angle it, and then push it in to take it out. Now it easily folds down, catches, you compress it, and you can lift it back up. The Max also comes with a nice two-step system to fold it down and to unlatch it. In a previous video, I criticized this as being difficult to use, and this was probably just user error, meaning I didn't read the instructions and I didn't know how to do it. All you really have to do is, and you can use one hand the whole time, pull this knob out, twist it, and then you can use the same hand and latch this down. So you can use your other free hand to guide it down. My one criticism of the folding though, even though it is improved and it is very easy, when you fold down the GoTrax and you have it with the kickstand down, it latches in and then it kind of just falls forward, because when it's folded down, it's meant to have no kickstand down at that time. So it is a little awkward when you transition into the folded down position. The final thing I want to comment on about the features is that GoTrax even improved the really little things. If you look at the charging port here, they made it a lot easier to access, a lot easier to pull this tab, take it off, push the tab, make it go back in. And they even improved the kickstand. It has a new design, which I don't think really does anything, but it looks a lot cooler. And I also did notice that it's a lot easier to kick up and kick down. In older videos, my girlfriend did criticize this. She did think it was a little too hard to, use the kickstand. So it's nice to see that they improved that. Those are all the features. So how do they contribute to the ride quality with the GoTrax XR Elite Max? Let's start with starting the scooter. Something I've noticed with the Max is that it's very responsive, and this is a big improvement on older models of the GoTrax. So all scooters, at least for the most part, commuters, are kick to start, meaning you have to be moving before the throttle will actually kick in. Older models, I found that the threshold for starting was too high, meaning you had to be going too quick to actually start the scooter going, meaning that a lot of times you'd think you'd be able to hit the throttle and it would go, but it wouldn't. With the Max, they lowered this threshold, meaning that it's a lot more responsive. It feels like anytime I hit the trigger and I think it should go, it will go. The next thing I want to talk about with the ride is the smoothness and stability, and that's thanks to these 10-inch tires. For this price range, you're usually not going to get 10-inch tires this big. You're usually going to get 8-inch tires. And again, tires that big actually do make a big deal. The ride is a lot smoother, you can take bumps a lot better, and you just feel like you're on a much more substantial scooter, like you feel safer on it. My last comment for the quality of the ride is the acceleration and the motor. So the Max here has a slightly stronger motor than the original model, and it does have a noticeable effect on the acceleration. I found on flat surfaces I was accelerating as I expected, getting up to top speed, and on hills it did slow down a little bit, but I always found that I got up to the top speed. I really like this change for GoTrax because in general, I find that GoTrax has really high quality scooters. I love the products they make, but maybe the one drawback I would say they have is they don't really have super strong acceleration. It's not like they're slow, they're just not so fast that like you feel like you're flying off the handles, which can be a good thing sometimes for scooters because it's fun and exciting. So I like to see that they boosted the acceleration here, even if it was just a little bit. Okay, so we talked all about the features of the scooter, how it rides, the price. So should you buy the XR Elite Max? Do I recommend it? I would say I definitely do. So I loved the original XR Elite. For the price, I thought it had great features. It was the first scooter I had and I loved it. And they took those features, they took everything from GoTrax scooters and they made a lot of improvements, and we now have the improved GoTrax XR Elite Max. I think it's got a super fair price. It has a ton of features built into it, and it's just a super strong, sturdy, reliable scooter. I will say though that it's best for certain environments. If you're in a place with dedicated bike lanes or trails, I would recommend it, or if you're on a university campus. Here you're gonna be in an environment where you can comfortably ride the scooter and not feel like you're getting in people's way or you're in danger from other things on the road. I would say you probably shouldn't get this if you wanna ride primarily in city streets. Because it only goes up to 15 miles per hour, it is a little slower and you're gonna feel kind of like you're in the way on the road. That's my review of the GoTrax XR Elite Max. What do you think about the scooter? Let me know in the comments below and we will see you next time.